to the Outlaw Drums podcast, and I want to say thank you so much for joining in. And today I got a really special guest, and all the way from Michigan. We have started a drum kit building experience from starting off with a bare piece of wood and bringing it all the way to this beauty right here. Chad's specifications and expertise. And this kit has a lot of different. This went through a lot from the past couple of days, from just bare wood all the way to eagles flying over the trucks and all.
Crazy, right?
Stuff. I was like, what the world's going on?
I mean, so many signs for us to kind of put into the whole kit. It was really what an experience. So this is my second one.
Yep, your second one. And this kit actually inspired a song called Roz and the Birdfire.
Campfire bird kit.
Roz and the Campfire Bird Kit.
Yeah.
So tell me about that bird kit. The bird. What happened there?
Well, we didn't have a name for the kit, right? We knew what we wanted to do a little bit, and that was to kind of get the campfire. I think you kind of turned that maybe years ago on some specific drums. So we wanted to go for that look, which is where you just torch the southern yellow pine.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about doing that is when you're torching it, you get all these designs in each stave of the piece of wood, so it changes as you roll it. Because Michael has it on a roller, and then you just take the torch and you start rolling with it. And all of a sudden, we're like, "Oh, look at that! It's a bird sitting there on the thing." So we thought nothing of it. It was kind of cool. We got a bird on the rack tom, and but then all of a sudden, we kept getting all these little signs with birds.
It was
showing
crazy.
up. Yeah. So with the bald eagle flying over us, and we were on our way to the workshop one day. Michael looks up and says, "Holy cow, look at that bald eagle flying." And it was literally going right with us over your truck.
In line with us, like it was going in the same direction.
Crazy. Yeah. So, and then I had seen another guy do, I think he did the first experience. I can't remember the guy's name.
Ted.
Yeah. And his drum was just beautiful. So I'm like, well, if we're going to do the campfire, we needed something to kind of look like a flame. And I remembered watching some old videos on Outlaw Drum YouTube channel, and it was Ted making this really cool snare, and he put some red dye or orange dye on it. So let's do that. So we decided to do the snare in an orange dye, and so this is it right here. And it turned out absolutely gorgeous. And the sound is phenomenal. And we decided to do the Welch tuning, and I'm super happy with that. And I've got some other drum kits, and Michael and I were talking back and forth about kick drum size and floor tom size, and my wife absolutely loves the floor tom, the sound that they can rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big deal for me. I wanted to make a kind of a floor tom that my wife would be proud of. So, and that's kind of the Roz part of the Roz and the campfire kit.
Because this kit's actually the floor tom is actually named Roz.
Yeah, we called it Roz.
And we put it on the inside of it too.
And the kick itself is a 24 by 16, and man, it just thumps. So super pleased with that.
It does hit you in the chest, especially when we was doing in the big room in there. It just felt like it was just real open and real kind of thumpy, you know.
Yeah. So when you combine them all together, I mean, it's the biggest kit I've ever played, and it's so fun because you can really feel it and it goes through your soul. It's such a cool kit.
So you decided to go with 13 instead of the 12 on the rack tom,
which is even a little different for me. So we went with a 13 tom, 18 or 13 rack tom, 18-inch floor tom, 24 kick, and then a 14 by 7 snare.
But it's kind of different for me because I feel like 13s could sometimes be like one of the most difficult drums to tune. Because like I can get the 12 sounding pretty good, but the 13 is always the one I feel like I got to mess with the most. But starting with a 13,
agreed,
and then a 16, an 18, it's like you just. I mean, literally, you just set it on there. You just tension it up
with the Welch tune.
With the Welch tune.
It turns
out how easy it is to tune them. Like,
oh, it's crazy. It's super easy. For anybody that doesn't know, where is it? Right here. It's literally like a tuning key right on the side with these wires, and you can just crank it on up or loosen it down however you like it. And that was part of the fun too, is being able to play around with it, because we were thinking that we would go really low with the 24-inch kick, and then lo and behold, it kind of sounded pretty good when we tuned it high.
Yeah.
But then it depended on the room you were in. So if you're in a big hall, it sounds better a little bit higher. But in this smaller room,
it sounded better lower.
Sounded better lower.
That's crazy.
And you still get that thump though that you feel in your chest, which is so cool.
So what about the halftime band, man? What do you think about that? What are they gonna say, you think?
They've already seen pictures of it, and I sent them one video. The halftime band is the band I play with. Have for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you for repping that hat. I think they're gonna love it. It's gonna go really well with our sound.
You're gonna break this thing in. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So our next gig is coming up January 16th, Friday, January 16th at Founders Brewing Company in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And the campfire, Roz and the Campfire Bird Kit are going to make its debut at that gig. So can't wait. It's a really fun hall to play at. Great beer, great atmosphere, really good sound system. So I can't wait to mic this baby up and let it rip. It's going to be fun.
So we decided too, as we were building the kit as well, to make a song with the whole thing, go into the jam session and really kind of get it.
Yeah.
But the song that we kind of put together, I feel like the whole week we was peeling out like different words and different phrases and lyrics. We just kind of tucked away. Then on the last day, we just like, all right, let's put all this to work.
Yeah. That was exactly it. You'd have a buddy come over at the workshop while you're there, and
bring a torch.
A couple of them were just really funny guys, and they just had some sayings that we got to remember that. And get out our phone and write it down, and the price tag disappearing. There was just little. It means really cool and fun.
Yeah. Corey, he trips me out. He does.
Yeah.
So then was able to just put on a for real deal jam to the song and 4 on the floor, making it work out, man. And so the wood type we decided to go. This is a stave style construction, and basically like the wood. So, and I know you know this here, but like the grain goes vertical, but at the same time it has a piece of wood going this way and this way. So each piece is staggered for strength, and then when you peel it off with the mill, it leaves that little bit of in between. It just looks so crazy. And then the torching it, and then not to mention the sound capabilities of pine. It's just a warmer sound, and it's going all over the place because the shells have a lot of mass to them. They're thicker. So with the grain going back and forth, vertical and horizontal, I feel like it did kind of pull together nicely with the Welch tuning, because literally you don't have to. You just put them on here and you just turn it a couple times and hit it, and you got it right there.
Yeah.
Now if you're one of the guys that's want to go over here, and I know guys like this, ding ding ding, and they'll spend like a week trying to tune the drums, and they're dialed in perfectly, but when you pull it out of that room and take it somewhere else, a lot of times you got to do the same thing, because wood and rooms are different. They speak different. This room speaks way different. And then they're in the shed. The goal was to get finished with this kit, which I really wanted to play the kit in the drum shed, and we really pushed hard to be able to get that. Yeah, we wasn't able to get that.
Well, and that was something that Michael put together this past Saturday, was a drum shed,
and it was on the fly. Like literally, it was in. Well, I think we had like a week notice. I was telling everybody, because we wasn't sure if we was gonna be able to have time to get the room finished, because there was just stuff everywhere, and I was working like Luke and Dennis, some guys. They just worked so hard and they didn't take no breaks. Like over 7 days straight. Yeah. They just long hours and trying to get it finished up.
And that room used to be your workshop. Which had 30 years of sawdust and just wood pieces. Just it was full of stuff. And those guys did a great job and cleared it all out to the point where it looked like a beautiful drum room,
Yeah.
drum shed room. So we had this drum shed and had about 20 guys come, and it turned out to be super fun.
Yeah, it was, and it was so like nerve wracking too, because I've never hosted a shed like this before, and I'm trying to like navigate things at the same time. I'm going to get extension cords and little, things. Everybody needs something, So I'm constantly navigating. I'm not able to kind of, because I've noticed when people sit behind drums, it's not quiet no more. And everybody, it could be, when we walked in, it was almost like we was walking to a wall of sound. I think you said that. It was just like, because everybody was playing, and some people did not deserve to sit behind the kit for sure. But it was fun, but when you're trying to get into a groove and the mojo kind of going, you want everybody kind of being on the same page and not all over the place. And Anthony, my boy Anthony, he went in there and was just like...
Yeah, he was the maestro.
Yeah, he kind of went in there and was just like, kind of got everybody kind of straight, following the tempo. He's like, stop, everybody, stop. And everybody's like... And they couldn't even stop for like 5 seconds. And you hear it start coming back up again. It'd be like a 5-second little break of stop, and then he's like, let's hear that. If you can't hear that... I like what he said. If you can't hear the click, you're playing way too loud.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the next time we do, because I had like so many drummers supposed to show up, and most of them did not show up, and because it rained that day, it was nasty.
It wasn't great weather, but it also actually made it kind of a cool vibe.
Yeah,
in a sense,
because it didn't. The people that was there, it was not as many people.
Yeah,
sometimes I feel like get too many people, the vibe can kind of go missing as well.
So it was a blast, and we had a couple guitar players who were very good, a couple bass players, a guy that showed up with bongos and congas and the timbales and stuff.
He started whipping out.
He was excellent.
I don't know what it was. He had like this ball he was holding. Did you see that?
He was like a shaker.
I mean, it was the biggest. It was the coolest shaker I've ever seen. Man.
Yeah, and he was really fun. So
he was just the vibe was there.
So another thing, actually, I wanted to bring up that we did. That Michael with the kick was the band we put in here again. Remember so when you're milling it out, sometimes you'll find a cavity, and we found a cavity again in this. We did in my snare last year too, and Michael had a great idea. So we have this little. It's kind of hard to describe, but inside the shell, a band of wood that's a little bit thicker that goes all the way around the center of it. In this case, on the kick drum, we did it on the resonant head. And it's probably
about 4 inches wide,
4 inches wide. It goes all the way around
on the resonant side.
On the resonant side,
making it thicker.
Yep, and just a little more density,
a little more dampening on the reso half, so it's just not so much all over the place.
And man, when you hit this kick drum, the really cool thing is it blasts a puff of air straight out of the hole here. It's crazy how much air flows out of it.
It really is, man.
If you put your hair down there, you get blown back. So
you see a lot of people put like a little thing over top of it that kind of flops down. You hit it, kind of like goes almost like one of those stencil things, that they have on the.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, so we had to mill that little cavity out, and then by doing that, we had a space where we can continue to go with it. A lot of times, a lot of people will tune the bottom heads and the top heads different, but how cool would it be just like having this side of the shell a little bit different than this side over here? Yeah. So, and then at the same time with the weld tuning, maybe when they go together, they're not just going to be this perfect resonance that's going to collide. Maybe they're going to be a little shift, and we'll make it a little wanky. Like Tim Davis said, he don't never tune up the same the drums at the top and the bottom different. He takes the top and a little different than the bottom side, the rhythm than the batter.
Whatever it did, it came out amazing. These drums sound so great. I'm just so happy. I couldn't be more pleased with how they all turned out. The way they look, the way they sound, they're just incredible. Michael's super talented. He comes up with all kinds of different ideas on different ways to make a drum, different sizes, different colors, and just the concept. He'll let you kind of do it with him. So it's really cool. It's so fun. What a great experience.
Yeah, man. It's my pleasure and my honor for y'all both. Roz, thank you so much. Just putting it all together and lining it all up, and it's really awesome. And just being able to kind of get with you about their sizes and like really in the wood types and all that, man. It was definitely a one of a kind blessing for me. And it's just like the whole vibe. So y'all got to check out this music video that's fixing to hit, man, dude. The whole video, we're gonna have a time lapse going through the video of the process of it. We're gonna be jamming on this to our new single hit from the Broke Transmissions. And we're gonna have some fun with it, man. It's a really cool thing. Hopefully, you guys won't get too mad with it.
Yeah, it'll be fine. They'll think it's cool. So,
what's he gonna play with some more guys?
No, they're open to it. They may even want to play it.
That'd be cool, man. Well, just thank you so much.
Yeah,
man.
thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's awesome. It's been a great time.
Yes.
Bass feel right with a pick and bite. Eric Carey in my head again. Jane's on the radio, let it bend. Sharp issues taking off too much. Sharpen the bit, steady the touch. One pass, two pass, damn three. That third one seals the destiny. Candid and it's talking through the static noise. Need less wood, more choice. Price tags vanish, tools don't lie. Got the part I need though. Balls in the campfire bird kit. Keep it loud, yeah, keep it lit. People talk, then love bomb shit, but we still build, still don't quit. Balls in the campfire bird kit. Hands in dust, sparks still hit from the shed to the fire pit. This one's real, yeah. Found a fix with a green box drop. Torch the drum and look burned now. Hair like a caveman, man to say how. Says she can't watch me anymore. Sanded edges looking for the run. Epoxy edges gotta sit flat. Raw's golden graham snacks on a paper towel. Chad in the back playing right, left, left. Roll get heavy, wrist get stiff. Two cover songs, slow it down. Lou vacuum dust from the rafters now. 7 days off, white enemy. Drum shed coming, I can feel it breathe. Rouse and the campfire bird kit. Keep it loud, yeah, keep it lit. People pull you down and flip the script, but we still build, still don't quit. Rouse and the campfire bird kit. Hands of scars, sparks still spit from the shed to the fire pit. This one's real, yeah, this is it. Daddy died where the dirt piles at. I still feel him when the work gets black. Bald eagle flying over the truck saying it's alright, that's enough. Verified in the wind and sky. Keep going, boy, don't ask why. Great campfire bird, 18. This one's for coming home. Campfire bird kid, campfire
Yeah.